All right, y'all. Rick's about the morning show, man. I'm so excited. It is 23 minutes after the hour, y'all. Please help me welcome to the show political analyst Dr. Jason Johnson, who is also an associate professor of politics and journalism at Morgan State University. And frequently, you can always see him on MSNBC almost every day. And
The Griot.
Yeah, currently on the Rio.
Griot.
The Griot.com. Happy to have you, Dr. Johnson. Good morning.
I wish I were in Rio, but yes, I work for the Griot. Yes, happy to be here, Ricky. Happy to join the show this morning in the middle of the craziest campaign season we've ever seen.
Yeah, I saw you. I think you was on MSNBC on one of the shows yesterday. I see you on there almost every day. I'm a big fan. I love watching you with early, and a lot of stuff going on with early voting underway. Many states, we've seen images of voters in long lines wrapped around buildings up to like 8 hours.
Yep. Yeah, it's ridiculous. This is voter suppression, everybody. And I tell people this all the time. Anybody trying to take something from you that doesn't matter. Okay, right. If they're trying to make it harder for you to vote, it's because they know your vote matters. So tell everybody, look, get your chair, get your table, got 2 or 3 people in line that you guys can switch out. Make sure you can go to the bathroom, pack a lunch, charge your phone so you can watch all the episodes of half and half or one-on-one, whatever it is, comes on Netflix, Moesha. Be ready to be in line for a long time if you live in a black majority area. If you've had a chance to get an early ballot or get the ballot sent to your home, or I live in Maryland, you can get the ballot actually emailed to your home. Do that, and then make sure you drop it off at an official place because they are trying to keep us from getting that man out of the White House.
Now, Dr. Johnson, even though the early voter turnout appears to be a lot greater across the country than it was in 2016, and I think the numbers actually bear that out, how essential is it, you would say, that we keep our foot on the gas regardless of what we're seeing in the polls?
Oh, I mean, look, here's the thing to remember. Just because people are voting early, we don't know how many of these votes they're going to count. We know they're still going to cheat. So the best way that you beat a cheater is by being so good and having numbers so overwhelming that they can't lie. I was telling some folks this yesterday. I was talking to a class. Y'all remember that old movie Die Hard?
Yeah.
Right? Where the guy talks about robbing. He's like, look, if you steal $100,000, you might get away with it. But if you steal $100 million, they're going to find you, right? Unless they think you're gone. This is that situation. If these states, if Georgia, North Carolina, Ohio, Michigan, if the Democrats and black candidates only win these states by 5,000, 10,000 votes, the Republicans can steal that. They can hide those numbers. They can say, oh, we don't like those ballots. We didn't like the font that you used or something. But if you're winning these places by 30, 40, 50,000 votes, that's much harder to steal. So we got to make sure that we're turning out as many people as possible. And also, a good sign, even though we got a lot of early voting, 15 to 20%, especially in places like Texas, so the people early voting today didn't even vote in 2016. So don't listen to Ice Cube. Go out there and vote anyway.
Oh, hey, can you clear that up? What is it? What is that big controversy with Ice Cube? What was it? The one thing that just got everybody set up because he's all over the internet this morning.
Well, basically, what Hugh fell for the okie doke, right? And we can talk about all his old lines. He talked about Eazy-E, I'll never have dinner with the president. Basically, what happened is Ice Cube did what a lot of ignorant celebrities have done. They sat throughout the entire Democratic primary, didn't do nothing, didn't say nothing, and then 15 minutes before the election are saying, I don't think these candidates have a plan for black people. Well, what were you doing during the primary? Did you read? Did you pick up the Google? Did you pay attention? And so yesterday, the Republicans announced that Cube had assisted them in Trump's plan, the Platinum Plan for Black America. But here's the catch. Joe Biden, and I don't work for either party. I just work for justice and black people. Joe Biden's had a plan for like 2 years for black America. So if Ice Cube actually cared, he could have looked at that plan too. So yesterday, he got a whole bunch of static for it, and people are complaining. But I always say this, follow the money. You notice Ice Cube didn't care nothing about politics until the big three got bailed out by Steve Bannon, who was the white nationalist who worked for Trump. So let's be clear.
Wait a minute.
Motivations come.
Say that again.
When the big three was in financial trouble.
That's the basketball league that Ice Cube had.
Yes, that's his basketball league, yes. They got involved with Steve Bannon, who was that white nationalist who worked for Trump. Isn't it convenient that then suddenly, at the last minute, Cube is talking about how Trump was great for him and great for black America? Yo, follow the money. File them up.
Ooh, Lord have mercy, man. Listen, Democrats may also be looking at a real opportunity here to flip the Senate. What are your thoughts on that possibility?
It's really, really up in the air because it's a bunch of races across the country. So you're looking at Colorado, you're looking at Maine. Those look like definite pickups. Michigan might be closer than people think, so they really got to put the work in there. Tom Tillis and Cunningham in North Carolina. Basically, all the places where they're trying to keep black people from voting are the places where the Senate could be flipped. We can't forget about Mike Espy in Mississippi. So, again, if the Senate gets flipped, it doesn't just end up changing your local elected representative. It doesn't just end up changing your state senator. It could help us do something about all these corrupt, racist judges that have been put in office. It could help us impeach some of those judges. It could do something about how the Senate is being worked on right now, where millions of black people are literally being erased because the conservative Supreme Court told Trump that he can basically stop counting when he gets to the first black person. So that's the importance of the Senate and down ballot races as well.
And Dr. Johnson, speaking of the Senate, what about the Senate race in Georgia? What are your thoughts on that one?
Well, look, I'm somewhat here because I know Reverend Warnock. He's a great guy. I got a lot of friends. I used to go to that church from time to time when I lived in Atlanta. Look, it is very important that Warnock makes the runoff. And the more black folks who get involved and the more black folks who concentrate their vote, it is critical that we finally have some African-American representation in Congress at the Senate level from some of these southern states. So go out there, support Warnock, support John Ossoff, make sure these guys get to the runoff in the spring. And by the way, you certainly wouldn't want to vote for Kelly Loeffler, who basically insulted all the black women who go out and do work and are active on the Atlanta Dream, which is the basketball team that she's a part of ownership on. So that's a really, really critical race. And besides, that state almost put Stacey Abrams in office, and she got robbed by Brian Kemp last time. So let's make sure we ain't robbed twice in the next 2 years.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
So really quickly, there is a group of people that are often referred to as the super woke folks who don't see a benefit in participating in the electoral college or the process or any of that. So Dr. Johnson, what would you say to those who still feel like voting is not important or necessary?
I would say get out the way so I can talk to people who care.
Right.
2 weeks from the election.
Move.
2 weeks from the election. If you're still out there saying, I don't care, it don't matter, blah, 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 I don't have time for you. I can knock your dirt off my shoulder, and I will go talk to somebody who can actually be motivated.
Right.
If you can, sitting in your home right now, because we're in the middle of an 8-month pandemic, that, by the way, hasn't just killed 216,000 Americans. This pandemic is killing black people at a rate higher than we died on the Middle Passage being brought over here for slavery. If that can't motivate you to get out and vote, I don't have time to talk to you. So I don't think we should be wasting any time with the brothers and sisters out there who are either too woke, too conservative, or too ignorant to vote. Focus on the people who can vote. Get your mama, your brother, your sister, your younger brother, your college students, your next-door neighbors, your strippers, whatever. Get them out the vote and let the rest of those people sit there and complain on Twitter.
Hey, Dr. Johnson, thank you so much for jumping on with us this morning. Shout you out for rocking my frames. That's how long I've been watching. I noticed you changed your glasses, but you just rocking those Rickey Smiley frames every day. I took a picture of it and put it on Facebook. I said, Dr. Johnson rocking my glasses on TV. Thank you. Thank you for going to America's Best. Hey,
Look, there's one right up off of Howell Mill in Atlanta. So, yeah.
That's the one we go to, man. Hey, Dr. Johnson, thank you so much, man. Let everybody know how you can be reached.
Hey, you guys want to follow me? Just follow me on Twitter at @DrJasonJohnson. You can also see my work in thegrill.com. Check it out. There's a bunch of great writers there, and I'm regularly on MSNBC. So anytime you want to hear from me, tweet me. Those are places to find me.
Hey, real quick, last thing, real quick. Do you really think that blue wave coming, though?
I think the blue wave is coming, but we also have to be prepared for the red revenge. And these Republicans are going to try and take this to court. So we got to make sure. Look, I tell people this all the time. Voting is the minimal level. Somebody tells you to lose weight, right? You got to eat less and exercise. voting is just the eating less. The exercising is going out and protesting. We got to be ready to go to every single voting place, every single location, every single state representative's office and protest after the election to make sure our votes are counted, to make sure our votes are connected, and to make sure our votes are actually validated. If we don't do that part as well, these Republicans will steal the 2020 election.
Absolutely. Dr. Johnson, hey, appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.